Our laws on food safety have been changed. And every day there's an ad that comes out. One day a woman making chapati at home, this is dangerous for you. Eat from packages. Frito-Lay chips will be wonderful and your mother's chapati is dangerous for your health. I'm actually preparing a case for this and would love to have volunteers because we are documenting. We're documenting. And luckily we have courts which recognize this is absurd. It's all happening. The food conquest is happening below the radar. The WTO was established with most people not knowing. And it's 5 grain trading companies, 5 seed companies, and 5 processing giants. That's it. There are 15 of them. And look how many we are. There's 7 billion human beings, we have 300 million species. We have no reason to sit back and hesitate. And what's on our side? On our side is the love for freedom and the love for justice.
How you holding up?
Freaking out.
How you holding up, Brianna? Brianna? How you holding up? Good? It's a comfortable bed. We don't have time to sleep in it though because we have to go make the Michigan Roundtable look good. Which
oh crap.
Am I okay? Don't lie to me. It's Ivana. How are you holding up, Ivana?
I'm fine.
Yeah. She's like freakishly calm this whole time. Me and Muhammad are sitting like, ah! Ready? Got your bottles?
Oh my god.
This is so I'm freaking out.
We've identified an issue within our community that we feel needs attention or needs transformation. Because one of the things we learned about was transformative organizing, and within 3 campaigns that were chosen, our campaign is on educational justice. And so what we decided to base our campaign around is promoting the implementation of place-based education. And so what this workshop here is an example of what a place-based education classroom could look like.
Place-based education is connecting what you learn in the classroom to the environment so that it strengthens the community as a whole.
The reason why we need place-based education in our communities is because there's not enough interaction between the community and the schools, we believe. And place-based education offers students an active role within the community. We believe that is a form of sustainable, that's a more sustainable system of education.
Okay, so today, with what the other interns have said, we're going to be modeling place-based education. And we're going to talk about a community problem that affects different communities and also the school system, and we're going to modify it and like implement it in school subjects. And we're also going to be like modeling alternative ways to be in the classroom, like when we have like the relationship between students and teachers and also the physical space of a classroom. And then we're also going to engage in different forms of learning.
So my name is Val Buchanan, and I'm here at the Transforming Race Conference. Just finished up a workshop with these youth facilitators from Michigan Roundtable. They're very passionate and confident, and they let us do this really cool exercise. We're able to interact and enjoy a different way of learning with one another. So highly recommend it. It was awesome. They did a great job. So I'm always interested in different ways of learning. And I'm also originally from Detroit, so it was cool to think about the place of Detroit, and my family is all living there, so looking forward to kind of interacting not only through Facebook, but also connecting with this movement and campaign actually physically.
Sure.
I think probably just watching the students lead and play off of one another, and watching them in their sense of confidence about what they're about, and their interest in investing in this, and even at young ages, 17, 18, 19, kind of having a clarity of what needs to change and the complexity of the system is really encouraging and hopeful.
Well, for me, the biggest thing was that it was run by the students and how well they did. That was what most impressed me. They were very poised. They conducted each session very well. They were prepared well. I was truly impressed with them. For me, since I can't steal her answer, I would say that it democratized the classroom in a way that there's no hierarchy. Everything, you think of the students, and the students were the teachers, and we were the students. Sort of gives the impression that everybody is a teacher and a learner at the same time. The way you were able to, the facilitators asked us questions, but we were able to ask questions as well, and sort of give input in the way we were able to learn from each other, as well as the information that was provided. So it was very nice in the way that the classroom was more a symbol of sort of micro-democracy instead of maybe totalitarian environment.
And it was fun.
As it was very fun. Lois is a fun person. I think for myself it's encouraging and inspiring, and I could see a lot of elements of sort of Paulo Freire, so that model of education, some things that I'm trying to implement at the moment. It's nice to see that it works and it's possible, and there's a way that not only youth, so a lot of the stuff, I have a community organizing background as well, so a lot of stuff is used in organizing, so seeing the ways in which people can feel effective as teachers, even though they might not be what you guys termed as trained to be teachers, like a master's in education or what have you, but this sort of informal way of educating a particular community around something so that they can create their own change is inspiring and motivating.
The workshop was, I think, it went really well. We set up an ideal classroom, both in the physical space and how the lesson was taught. And we used social studies and math, and we modeled how we would want it to see a school system.
And then we had community impact with dialogue.
And talked about corporations and how they do what's in their shareholders' interests and not people.
And how demographics affect the recycling program and funds, and why certain programs haven't been implemented in certain cities.
They were talking, we were talking, they were responsive, they gave us good feedback. They brought really nice ideas to the table. It was a nice break from those boring panel lectures. It was good.
I'm in Columbus at the Transforming Race 2012 conference. I went to a workshop about race in the context of science and biomedicine. It was really good. It was really interesting. We were talking about whether race is a biological thing or just a social and political construct. And so one speaker talked about the history of it and how even in 1950 it was widely accepted among scientists that race had nothing to do with biology. But since then we've kind of backtracked based on the need to justify inequality. And even today, when we talk about medicine, we tend to focus too much on the internal and the individual, putting responsibility on one person instead of the environment, and we attribute that to race, but it really shouldn't be. And it's only faulty science that lets us do it.
Very cool. Me and Brianna, we went to all the conferences together, and they didn't talk about like implementing actual youth in their programs like right then and there. It was sort of just like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And the only time they actually talked about youth is when like Brianna brought it up in the last conference that we just went to, like, what are you guys gonna do for the youth? And they were like, oh, you bring up a good point. I really hope that their opinion when it comes to youth, I hope they decide to actually keep the youth's opinion 30 years from now. Or maybe even the youth will be teaching.
So maybe comment about how like you also have to like know like the people that you're talking to, because you can't talk to all the people the same way or whatever. And so I think that what she said in regards to the youth is kind of like the same thing. It's like you have these ideas of what you want to do from where you're at and like your place and stuff, but like you're not including the things that fall not below that, but like not in that circle bubble of academia that you're in.
Well, I just want to add on one thing to what these guys were talking about, youth. During the last session, which was the ending the food industrial complex session, which on the whole was a pretty good one. One of the presenters at one time said something like, so many organizations just get a bunch of youth and get them to start urban farms and thinking about food justice and growing food and selling them in farmers markets. And she said, but we all know that's not really the solution, because youth can't like get anything done, and they don't really have a way to talk to people that need to be, to speak to power. I think we're proof that that's not true. I think youth can definitely do things and are doing things, not just potential, but there are organizations that have completely youth-led programs and campaigns that are doing really great things.
And we all hate ourselves for different reasons. Like people who are rich hate themselves because they're rich, and people who are poor hate themselves because they're. We all have our reasons. But it starts with loving ourselves, loving our families, loving our friends, loving our community. That is where that is the only place that real transformation comes from. And if we can love ourselves and our families and our communities and our friends, we can love our country, and we can love our country so hard that we will not stand for these haters and these power mongers and these oppressors to ruin our country and ruin our lives and ruin our families' lives. It comes from a deep place of love, and that love has the power to transform everything. If we're transforming race, if we're transforming gender, if we're transforming Western civilization, which is what we're really doing, we are transforming America, and we're doing it from the fiercest, deepest place of love that all of us have.
We are building a movement. We do not just work at nonprofit organizations.
Right.
We are spiritual warriors for transformation, for change, for love, and we are transforming this country for our children, for ourselves, for everyone we love over the next 30 years and beyond. Yes. And I want everyone to put your hands in the middle, and we're going to start out quiet and say, transform America. 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 Transform